I expect this to be resolved immediately. This is completely unacceptable.
I'm going to have to ask you to leave. We can't continue this today.
This is absolutely unacceptable. I want to speak to the manager right now.
Karen, please, let's just calm down for a second.
No, I will not calm down.
This workshop was the one place on my property where I could work without anyone bothering me. At least, that's what I thought, until the HOA decided it belonged to them too. I heard an engine before I saw her. Then Karen drove her Mercedes straight into my workshop like she owned the place. She parked right in the middle of my work area. Not outside, not along the driveway, right where my equipment needed to be. I politely asked her to move the vehicle. Karen crossed her arms and told me she had HOA business to handle. She claimed the HOA had authority over how I used my own workshop. I knew that wasn't how private property worked. I pulled out my property documents and checked every detail. The workshop was clearly part of my private property. Karen made a phone call and started speaking like she was reporting me. I simply went back to my work and waited. Less than an hour later, an HOA representative showed up. They expected me to back down simply because they had arrived together. Eventually, everyone left except the problem they had created. Her Mercedes was still sitting inside my workshop. I couldn't move my equipment, finish my project, or even use half the workspace. Her decision had effectively shut down my workday. The next morning, Karen came back expecting everything to be exactly as she left it. She had no idea how serious the situation had become. She suddenly realized that my workshop wasn't a public parking garage. It was private property, and I was done letting her treat it otherwise. I told her exactly what I expected. Respect my property and arrange to move the vehicle properly. For once, Karen stopped talking and listened. Karen started making calls again. This time, her voice sounded a lot less confident. The HOA board finally started looking at the actual property records, and suddenly, their confidence began disappearing. The documents told a very different story from Karen's version. My workshop was clearly outside the HOA's claimed authority. While everyone else argued about authority, I went back to what I actually cared about, my work. The workshop was mine, and I wasn't going to let the drama define it. 3 days passed before I returned to the center of the dispute. By then, the HOA had finally understood that I wasn't going to be intimidated. When I came back, Karen was waiting, but the attitude she had brought with her was completely different. Finally, the Mercedes was moved out of my workshop. The space that had been blocked for days was mine again. For the first time in days, I could see my entire workshop again, and I realized just how much chaos one entitled decision had created. Karen had to explain herself to the same HOA board she had used as a weapon. Now they wanted answers from her. The board made it clear that private property had to be respected. For once, the rules were being applied fairly. I went back to my normal routine. No arguments, no HOA drama, just me, my tools, and the work I loved. Karen eventually drove away without another confrontation. This time, she left my workshop exactly as she found it. I never needed to overpower anyone. I only needed to stand my ground, stay calm, and know where my property rights ended and the HOA's authority began. After all the arguing, the threats of fines, and the unnecessary drama, peace finally returned. My workshop was mine again, and that was all I wanted. If you enjoyed this HOA story, make sure to like and subscribe for more. And tell me in the comments, where you're watching from.